Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking here on Capnclydes. For all you gamers out there, not just you Magic fans, got a quick update on Funko. We covered this a while back, and it kind of relates to a lot of stuff we talked about supply, demand, and what something's really worth. So before we get started, don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, hit us up on Rumble. Links in the description to the eBay store, TCG player, all kinds of stuff's for sale, not just Magic. Got some cool stuff from Gen Con, a couple board games, all that good stuff. Help keep the channel sponsor free by subscription, which is nothing, doesn't cost you anything. Hit us up on Rumble, all that good stuff. So, without further ado, let's get into it and talk about Funko. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, we talked before about the Funko bubble popping and how, um, like with Magic, and I talk about a lot of times, something's only worth something if it's special. And not everybody has it. Everybody can't have something and it be worth money. That's like saying a banana's worth $20 because it's a banana. When everybody can get a banana, it's not going to be worth $20 unless everybody sells a banana for $20. What happens is that people realize, well, if a banana is $20 and everybody's making tons of money, I can sell mine for 19 and guarantee I could sell it. And then people start listing their bananas lower and lower until it gets to a point where customers are comfortable buying and people are comfortable selling. The same thing happens on TCG Player with Magic cards. People constantly undercut themselves and each other, causing everybody to lose money until the card price gets to a level where people will stop buying it and it levels out at that price because either A, everybody has all they want, or the environment thinks the card is too expensive or close to too much to buy at that price until it becomes a happy medium of, yeah, it's worth that much, but I don't really need it, or it's worth that much, there's not that many people, supply and demand kind of thing as well. And what Funko Pop has done has they made all these collectible things and they made so much of it, much like Magic and all the cards that they produce, which they're now fixing. I will give them credit for that. They're trying to fix it. They've destroyed their entire economy of what Funko Pop collecting is. So if you read this article here, I think it's kind of funny, only because a lot of people on YouTube talk about this, and people in finance talk about it a lot too. If you don't listen about it, the free tendies are over. All the money that was gave out during the vid and all that stuff is what's caused all this inflation. And now because of that, the money is gone, but the prices are still high because the demand couldn't be met, so prices kept going up. And because people wanted to pay it, the prices now won't come down. And some items, the price has to come down because people refuse to pay for it. So what that means is people are seeing a lot of their collectibles and other things just bottom out and have no value, which is causing financial ruin because now they need that money back because they spent all the extra money that they had, including the vid money, to invest, hoping to get money back. But now because everything has come to market and there's no supply issue, and there's no demand, the price is going down. So instead of investing $2,000 hoping to flip it for get four back, they've invested $2,000 and lucky to get back 500, which is causing a lot of people to not be able to pay bills, especially local retailers and stuff who rely on those sales to actually support their business. Um, and we'll talk about that as we go through it. So here, for example, in this article from ICV2, Funko has showed a loss over sales in Q3 of 2023. It has continued to reduce inventory and the count of its product, according to financial info released close on Thursday. While numbers weren't good on any absolute scale, they were better than Funko's expectations. So they still lost money, but they didn't lose as much as they thought. That doesn't mean they're doing better. All it means is they just said, hey, we're going to lose $1 billion. Hey, we only lost 800 million. Yay for us. That is not how you run a business and make money in the current environment or in any environment, to be honest. So let's not try to downplay this. Here it says sales were 312.9 million, which is down 14.4% from 365 million in the year ago this quarter. Sales in the U.S. were down 20%, the company reported. Now, here's the funny thing, and I want you to listen to this really closely. The company lost 15 million in the quarter versus 9.6 million loss in Q3 of 2022. So, what they're telling you is In 2022 in Q3, they lost 9.6 million. Now in Q3 of the next year, that loss has grown by $5.4 million more. So they can talk all day long about sales being up. They're losing money. And it's bleeding like a sieve, and that's just not good. But it says that's a great quarter compared to either 73 million loss in Q2 and the 61 million loss in Q1. So hooray for them. All that loss comes from right here. You can see Funko plans 30% reduction in products. That's because they're not overproducing products that people won't buy, which is wasting manpower and resources and raw materials to just be thrown away. Now, if you guys remember, they destroyed $30 million in inventory. So they paid $30 million. That is a 3-0, which, as you can see, still did not save them from having a increase in sale loss. For those of you who are not financially savvy in the manufacturing environment, that'd be like saying, hey, I'm going to order a pizza. So you order a pizza and then, Pizza Hut makes 3 pizzas. They sell you one and then the other 2 have to be thrown away. So not only did you not sell 2 pizzas, you lost the raw material. You still have to pay for the dough, all the toppings and what have you. You have to pay the man hours of the people who are there making it, because you have to have an X number of people to make sure you can make pizzas at a certain amount of time. If you're making 3 pizzas for every one order, that means you need 3 people, but you only need 1 person if you made 1 pizza per 1 order. You're paying 2 extra people every hour of every day. So Funko is trying to save this, but this does not look good at all. And for me, this is just basically the Funko bubble has popped, and people are realizing that it's just a disaster. Like many collectibles who have tried to just flood the market. Apparently, nobody learned from the 1980 baseball Topps Donruss fiasco, where all they did was just print cards until they just couldn't sell them anymore because of the big boom in baseball, and basically ruined the entire format. Any baseball cards from the mid 70s, 80s, and 90s and 2000s are relatively useless and have no value for the most part because of overprinting. So it says here the company has announced a plan to reduce count by 30% as it releases mid-year report. Executive plan went through, yada, yada, yada. Now, mind you, also in our previous report, the CEO has already stepped down once. So we have a new CEO trying to quell this beast and getting a hold of it by the horns. Good luck to him on that, or her. The inventory is down about a third since end of year, although a portion of the Q3 reduction in inventory was due to inventory write-downs. Basically, like we mentioned, $30 million write-off to destroying product. So for those of you who don't know, that write-down means they take it as a loss to their sales to get a benefit in tax revenue, so they don't have to pay as much taxes, which, again, it can't happen every year. So despite the reduction in inventory, it says here the company's $143 million loss in the first 9 months of the year is putting some pressure on the balance sheet. You think? $149 million loss over the course of 3 quarters. So for 9 months of this year, this company has been in the red, bleeding and hemorrhaging money to the tune of $143 million, and there's 3 more months left in the quarter before the end of the year. Do you really think they're going to pull this out? No. This is what causes layoffs, company shutdowns, and bankruptcy. Funko here says has 71 million more drawn on its line of credit than was the case a year ago. So, in case you guys don't know, every business has a line of credit, and they draw money off of it. They can pay expenses and then pay back on their credit. The problem with that is this shows up in their operating statement. It says right here, in the form of rapidly increasing interest costs, which rose to $7.6 million in Q3, up from $3 million in Q3 last year. So $4.6 more million in interest. So with inflation and everything else that's going on, the company is already operating on credit in the red, not making money, and that cost of them to operate, which they were already failing at last year at 3 million, has now went up to 7.6 million, and they're failing more now, and they're still having millions in losses, it says up here. So this company is literally on a lifeline where there's going to come a point where they can't pay their credit and they're going to collapse. So, and they're trying to say here, mass retailers aren't showing a lot of confidence in Funko Pops. I wonder why, because they don't sell. With inventories held by retailers continuing to go down, our sell-in continues to be lower than our sell-in. They've messed that up. The sell-in is more than sell-out. But anyway, point being, said in response to their current conference call, it says with less space on retailer shelves, Funko continues to increase its emphasis on direct-to-consumer sales. Direct-to-consumer sales were up 32% year over year in Q3 and now account for 17% of sales. So basically that means they're selling straight to consumer like you would buy it from Amazon, but probably their website. Anyway, and because of that, they're still losing money because also if you can't see the product, you probably don't want the product, and most people just don't care. And if we think about it, with all these things happening and Funko Pops not being sold and the value of them going down and people not wanting them, it also bleeds over into other things like Magic the Gathering, comic books is another good example, trading cards in general. A lot of these stores and retailers that would hold these kind of items, GameStop, Target, Walmart, because of high theft, not selling these items and having to sell them on clearance, they just stop carrying them. And the smaller stores like GameStop and local retailers, your mom and pop stores who would sell them at like a comic book / card store, hobby store, those stores are closing because they can't make money due to the inflation problem and these products not selling due to high price. So because of that, they're closing. So now they don't have anybody to sell their stuff unless they go through online. And even then, they're taking serious markdowns. Like I think the last time I was in Walmart looking at this kind of stuff out of curiosity, like Funko Pops were marked down to like, I think it was like buy three and get 50% off or something like that. There was one I saw that was buy two get one free. I even saw buy one get one free. I mean, basically they're taking these pops that were supposed to be selling for $19 to $30, and I've seen them selling for $5 to $10 a piece at local stores and even big Target stores. So there you have it, guys. Just a little something to think about. Put in the comment section down below what you think. If we're not careful, and if most hobbies in general aren't careful, I'm not referring to just Magic. I'm referring to all TCGs, baseball cards, Yu-Gi-Oh, comic books especially. We're going to see a giant crisis coming soon, which most of it's already arrived, of these collectibles that because so much of it is made, that there's too much for the market to absorb, so therefore the price of all of it just plummets. And it's cool if you want to collect and have everything of everything, but if everybody has everything, then nothing has any value. You can see that with video games, for example. Video game market came crashing down quite a while back, but there for a while, a lot of those video games that were actually rare went up in price. Now, most old video games, guess what? They're worth $5 or $10 and nobody cares. But the rare games that were either destroyed or didn't sell well because there are not that many out there have went up in value. And they went up so much during the boom that now people have lost a lot of money investing in those games because there's not a market, people don't see value in them, and more of that product has come to market because of the price increase. So if you think about it, let's say you do have expensive Funkos. Well, guess what? Once everybody realizes the price is going down, if the market doesn't hold and everybody comes to market with the same Funkos and wants to sell them, the only way to sell them is if people are going to buy whatever's cheap first, which means everybody's got to undercut everybody until the price is so cheap people will buy it. And you could say, well, I'll just hold out and wait to sell it. Well, that's fine. And if you can, good for you. But remember, it's about supply and demand. You can hold on to it as long as you want. Someone has to want it for you to be able to sell it. So, at the end of the day, guys, that's your news for Funko. And a probably words of wisdom. If everybody has it, nobody wants it. If everything's special, nothing is special. So, and I think a lot of the TCGs are finding that out now as they cut back print runs and produce less. Even Magic, by reducing an entire product line and taking out set boosters and draft boosters to release one box instead of two. Um, so yeah, sometimes more is not better, less is. So until next time, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, be kind, and as always, I hope to see you across from the game table, playa. I wonder what's gonna go bankrupt next.